What's up, traders? This is Matt with Conservative Trades. Hope everybody is doing all right today. It is Tuesday. We were off yesterday for Memorial Day, and we are starting the week off pretty good over here with $284 on the day. So not too much trading was done, actually. As a matter of fact, there's probably about, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 bucks in commissions. We're probably ending the day up right around 240 after fees and commissions. So not too shabby for, again, the start of the week, right after a 3-day weekend, holiday weekend, I should say. So anyway, for those of you who have been following the channel or are subscribed to the channel, you might have gotten the notification. I did release a brand new episode of The Trader's Mind yesterday. And so I encourage you guys to go ahead and check that out. I will leave a link in the description below, as well as you'll see it pop up here towards the end of the video, and you can just click and go straight there. For those of you who are new to the channel, The Trader's Mind is a series of episodes that deals very heavily with trader psychology. And so if you're new to trading or you haven't really learned too much about day trading, you should know that it's good to gain the knowledge. It's good to understand what you're doing, to do the proper research and education, and even practicing in a trading simulator and all of that stuff. All of that is great. All of that needs to be done before anybody should think about getting into day trading. But once you do get into day trading, you will find out very quickly that the psychology of trading and just the mentality that goes behind every single trade, the kind of discipline that it takes to not just have a trade idea, but actually faithfully execute that trade idea. It takes a lot of mental discipline, and it takes a lot of emotional control. And there's a lot of things that will come along with your trading career that there's a lot of, I guess, mental attacks and emotional attacks that will come your way. And so it's very important to me to release at least one of these episodes every few weeks if I can, because I think that there's a lot of these types of mentalities and whatnot that need to be talked about. And I think if we talk about them, and if we can really self-reflect and kind of look at our own trading habits and whatnot, I think just to be aware and just to have a great psychological understanding about what's going on with you as a trader from a psychological standpoint. I just think it's priceless. It's invaluable. And I have found that this sort of thing helps me greatly in my own trading strategy and, well, with my own trading just altogether. So anyway, pretty long way to basically tell you once again, check out that episode. It's the most recent episode of The Trader's Mind. But today, and look at MRNA right now. It's actually just broke the daily low. It broke that 200-day moving average. That's pretty big, guys. I'm almost tempted to jump in and take a trade here and go ahead. And I mean, if it breaks through 60, this could very well make a good move down to the mid 50s today. But anyway, I'll just kind of watch that from the side here. You can see that MRNA was the best trade of the day today, and I'll go ahead and kind of extend this chart and show you what I was looking at. First of all, this is a trend line that I had been trading off of last week, and this, you can tell, this trend line was very greatly respected. But I left it here because it broke up through it and formed a new pivot point. It came down, touched on it, bounced off, but then broke through it again. And once it broke through it again and started making this move and kind of bouncing off of this pivot point, I formed a new line here. And today it broke that line. And so when it broke that line, you can see I got in relatively quickly after that break, right here at the market open. And I went short on it and got out some profit there. Really wish I had held longer, but I continued to get out profit. Then I averaged in down here. Took a little of my shares off here just to reduce some of the share size, averaged in again here, then took profit here, and then I went short again here at the break of this level and took profit here, averaged in again here, averaged in again here. It started to come against me, so I went ahead and got out, and we went ahead and locked in that $208 profit on the day. Yeah, this is actually, man, I'll tell you what, this is I mean, this is really, I was watching this morning. This was kind of what I was watching down here, and I saw it bouncing off of that 200-day or that 20 moving average, on the daily. And I told the guys in the chat, I said, this is probably going to get bought up, and it did. That's why I got out here. You can see it ended up getting bought up all the way to VWAP. But this is a very critical level right here, and speaking of trader psychology, 60 bucks, that's a very psychological whole number there. And if it can crack through 60, I'll bet this stock could do some damage. So I don't know, guys. I was watching this earlier, and I was very much watching for these levels to break. So I'm kind of wanting to jump in and take a little bit more of a trade on here, in anticipation of the break of that $60 whole number. Let's just see. It's not suffering too much of a pullback. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and get filled, and I'll just come out if it starts going against me too quickly. I'd really like to see it break. Might be the squeeze that we were waiting on there. See if it can maintain that, or if it's just kind of a superficial buyback. I may go ahead and reduce my share size by half. Okay, I'm going to come out half there. So we got 50 now at 60.21 average. So, and if it breaks up over this 20-day, I'll probably just have to come out. Let me just take a look at this real quick. I need to take my executions off here. Let's just look at this real quick. So we broke that $60 whole number. No, we tapped on it. We didn't break it. Let's just see if we can get a move here. To keep this video from being too long, I may have to pause it and then just restart it back up when it starts to go. If it breaks through, I think we can get half out at, oh, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful move. There we go. Okay, I'm taking half there. Nice, solid breakdown of that. Okay, and see if we can break through 59. Can we get through 59? We've got 25 shares left. So not only can you see that I pulled out that 100 shares up here when it looked like it was going to squeeze back up, but still on the 50 shares that I had left, you can see how much we're able to gain off of that. We took 25 shares back. I'm going to go ahead and unload another half of those, just secure back there. So we made all of that profit back plus an extra $30. And we've got 13 shares left, and I'm just going to see how far down these 13 shares can go. So we got out those first 25 at 59. So really great move here on MRNA. It's exactly what I was looking for. Like I said, it would have been very shocking to me if it, after breaking that 20-day moving average, if it was actually going to be able to hold above that, or get back above that. And let's see, we broke the 59.14 level. So I think the next level we're going to be looking at here is roughly 56.38, 55.78 to 56.38. So what I'll do is I'll just put a stop on the last 13 shares. If we make it back above 60, then I want to stop out there. Buy stop. So we broke that key psychological number. If we come back over here, then there's no reason to stay in. I just want to get out that 13 shares. And as a matter of fact, I'll even put it at 59.91, because if it gets up there, it's probably going to continue to go through 16. And you want to account for slippage and whatnot. So but anyway, guys, while this trade is working itself out, I'm glad I was able to catch that live here, and you can see how trading with conservative share size can be extremely beneficial for you, in a lot of regards. I mean, imagine here if I had taken the the instead of 100 share, hold on, I need to silence my phone here. So imagine if I had try to take 1,000 shares, and then it looks like it's starting to go back against me here. I mean, I very well possibly would have taken a few $100 losses on that, and I don't know if I would have held it much, because we've seen this with MRNA so many times where it hits critical levels and then it starts having these pullbacks, and sometimes the pullbacks can last. They can be pretty brutal. Let's put it like that. So anyway, guys, but I will say this, with conservative share size, yes, you're not getting as much of a reward, okay, but you're getting, in my opinion, you're still getting a good enough reward for being able to sit in the trade, to stay in the trade longer. Now, some of you guys would not, 1,000 shares, taking a few $100s loss would not bother you. Okay, well, it bothers me. When you're in the account building phase, why try to get there quickly? Why try to get there quickly when you can take your time with it? Because I'm going to tell you right now, you may think that you're going to build your account quickly, but if trades work against you enough times, what you're going to end up doing is blowing your account quickly. Okay, and I would venture to say that there's way more traders out there who are quickly blowing their accounts than they are quickly building them up. Yes, we hear about every now and then, obviously you'll go on YouTube and you'll hear how so-and-so turned, $5,000 into $25,000 in 5 weeks. Okay, well, that does happen, but that's not the norm. And you need to know that. Anybody who's listening right now, that's one of those things that I think a lot of us traders who are coming into this that are really genuinely wanting to build a solid day trading career have to remind ourselves of. That's not the norm. And that does not mean that it's going to be you, and it doesn't mean that it's going to be me. And we have to be okay with that. We have to be okay with coming in here on a day-to-day basis and only making, a couple, $200-$300 a day until you build it up, and until you get that place to where you can increase your risk tolerance, and until you get to that place to where even taking 1,000 shares on a stock like MRNA would be considered a conservative share size for you. You may build your account up to $100,000, and with an account like Lightspeed, you get 4-to-1 buying power. So, you end up having with $100,000 account, you end up having $400,000 in buying power. But that doesn't mean that you should use $400,000 in buying power. Anyway, without getting too much on a rant here, I'll just say that. For me right now and where I'm at, yes, I could have afforded to take 1,000 shares short on MRNA, but I know how the stock operates, and I'd rather just take 100 and see where it can go. We're going to lose a lot of ground here today. I mean, this could really come down even to the mid 50s, and I'm fine with this. I'm fine with ending the day up $300-$400. Okay, I think that's phenomenal for being able to come in here and take trades like this. Look at this order book. I mean, you won't find a trade over 100 shares today. I haven't taken one single trade where I used more than 100 shares. Okay, and even on $5-$6 stocks. Okay, so I built this channel, and many of you already know, and now this will be all I say about it. I literally built this channel to help be a voice of reason in this space for a lot of these new day traders that get into this, and they have these very small accounts or these very modest account sizes, but they're looking to seriously start a career in day trading, and they want to start a good career, and they want it to last. And I think that if you come in with reasonable expectations of what you can do, and if you do it responsibly, and if you use a conservative share size, if you don't tap into 90% of your buying power, maybe tap into 50% of your buying power at best, and just kind of be able to put yourself in a position where you can kind of handle the trade. You can relax. You can let that trade work itself out. Even here, I didn't really have to take half of my shares off, but I was already up on the day, and I didn't want to risk too much on it. And again, I know how MRNA can behave, but even after taking half of my shares, you can see, I made it back plus an extra $20-$30 now, and probably by the time this trade's working out, it will be much more than that. So anyway, MRNA was really the best trade that I took on the day. I did trade RCL a few times, and I'll pull back my studies on this really quick. I did trade this a few times. You can see I actually called the top right here, and we got a nice pullback on it, and I took off some shares here and then down here on the 20-day moving average. And as it started to get bought up off the 20-day, I was seeing how back here it had gotten bought up pretty much every time off the 20-day. Okay, it could not really break it, and so I was expecting that to happen again. And as it started getting bought back up, I went ahead and got out there. Then it came up here, and I averaged in here, or I started my position here. here, and then I started my position here. And why did I do that? Because here on the daily chart, if you come all the way back here, 49.87 is a very critical point. So I figured we were going to get, you know, a somewhat of a pullback at that point, and we did. 49.87. I mean, it poked up through it a couple times, but we got a nice pullback. I got out some of my shares here. I got out some of my shares here. I averaged back in a little bit here because I wanted to see. I mean, we did get bought back up again off the 20, but the SPY was looking weak. It had cracked through VWAP. And it had kind of been tapping off of VWAP a lot. So as it was cracking through VWAP, I thought to myself, well, you know, if the SPY starts coming down, it could drag this down with it, and we could get a move to VWAP. But obviously, it got bought off the 20 again. It started coming up, and so I went ahead and got out. But we still did pretty good on RCL, as you can see right here. Facebook was a really quick trade, and obviously, you know, this is one reason why I don't take longs that much, because, you know, and it's funny because here we had a stock that was clearly weak and clearly losing some ground. And this is where I would normally go short on the stock. Although I wouldn't want to trace it, or chase it, I'd probably wait for a retracement back to the moving averages. So I probably wouldn't have went short on it, but it did look like it was starting to lose some steam here, and like it might have been ready to curl around and at least get a test of these moving averages or VWAP. And so I tried to go in, ended up having to get out here, and I got out the rest here. And then I noticed we started bouncing off of these levels here, and it hitting previous day close. So I went long again, but I ended up having to get out. It was just a big cluster, and I'm, you know, so anyway, it did eventually, as you can see, it did get bought up of here, off of those previous levels back here. And it did get bought up off of the previous day close. And I just, you know, after taking a couple stabs at it, guys, it wasn't working. So I didn't want to keep trying to catch the falling knife, so to speak. And let's see, I will go over SRNE as well. This is just going to be a long video today, but you know, I think it's important to go over this one because what happened here is I bought it, and I don't even know if it's going to, man, these charts on Lightspeed. Well, you can see I bought it here, and I took some profit here, and it started to dump and come back, and I got out there, and I'm glad that I did, because it ended up just getting hammered all the way down here. And so that's kind of a lesson, a good lesson too. Yeah, I didn't make that much money on it, but it really is a great lesson about, you know, watching these stocks and being willing to admit when you're wrong and when it's going to start going against you, and just getting out. Don't wait for this to happen right here. So anyway, that was a good long for the day. So I guess, you know, one long didn't do so well. One long did pretty darn good. So anyway, we'll see where this move on MRNA ends up going. I'd really like to see it lose the 58 mark and continue making a leg down. I don't see why it can't. And I think what I'll do is I'll just fast forward this to the end, or I'll cut it and just, you know, finish the video off here, and that way you will see the final P&L for the day. So see what happens here. See if we can get the flush. SPY's weak, so I would imagine it could pull MRNA a little, even though MRNA oftentimes moves independently from the SPY. Let's just see if we can get a flush down through here finally. Otherwise, I'm gonna look at this as a potential reversal, and we'll just need to come out. So you can see I added here and I added here, and so it brought my average down to 58.13. See if we get this final move down and the flush down, and get this order filled at 56.13. See if we can get that move. Okay, and all out, guys. So going to cancel all those orders. So didn't get the move we were looking for, but that's okay. So, well, I tell you what, this is going to be an extra long video here, but it's all right, guys. I feel pretty good about the day today. We're up $340.96, and I was able to give you guys a nice little live trade here, and even go through some of the process with you. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the channel. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if this video was helpful to you in any way, and if there were some takeaways for you from watching this strategy play out here in the video recap. And, you know, consider joining us in the live stream, because we do stream live right here on the channel Monday through Friday beginning around 9 a.m. Would love to have you. So all right, guys, take care. Have a great afternoon.